Check that out. No matter what light glare I get on this, you can still read the plaque from any direction, and that's why I came up with the settings that I used. Hey everyone, Greg here from the Laser Channel, where we learn, create, and share, and today we're going to be engraving this custom 304 stainless steel blank on this CloudRay QS50 fiber laser. We're going to get started by jumping into the computer and figuring out how to order a custom stainless steel blank. Let's get started. After I'm done relaxing watching some fun YouTube videos, I'll head over to Send Cut Send. Here's their landing page and let's get started. I've got a couple options here. If I drew my own custom design file for the stainless steel blank, I can upload it in any one of these file formats. I can also contact Send Cut Send directly and have them help me design what it is I need. But for today, I'm going to use their parts builder. And to help me get started, they have all of these templates that are already kind of pre-built and fully customizable. Even some license plates, so there's a lot of cool stuff that they've already got built in right on the parts building landing page. I just want a simple box type cutout with some mounting holes, and I'll click on that one. And here's all the dimensions that I can enter in. It gives me a nice graphical interface to see what I'm doing, and my client wants this plaque to be 8 inches by 3 inches. And the corner radius, I'm going to change that to 0.3. And the bolt hole diameter, the screws that I'll be supplying are a 0.2 diameter, or let's go back to 7.5. And I'll put this at 2.5, so I can see what everything is going to look like. And this looks good, and I'll save and continue. Well, today's project is going to be out of 304 stainless steel. There's all these different types of materials that I can pick from. If I want to make this out of titanium, I certainly can. And if I go back to the materials categories, there's composites, there's plastics. I can even order this out of different wood materials if needed. But we're going to go over to stainless steel and 304 stainless steel. This is the most common for engraving. Then here I have all of these other choices on the thicknesses. I could have this up to a 1/2 inch thick. For this plaque, I made it 1/16 of an inch thick, or about 1.5 millimeters, and it gives me an instant price already. This project only requires one, and I'll click on next. This screen is really cool. I can take my project material that I just designed out with a couple clicks, and I can rotate this around and look at it from every angle, making sure it looks correct. And I can also add some bending, some countersinks, dimple forming, hardware installation, tapping. I don't need any of that, and I'm able to click on next. This last page gives me a number of options for putting a finish coating on my stainless steel. This particular project, I don't need anything. I just want it deburred, which doesn't cost anything, which is really cool. The great thing about this is it allows me to take delivery of my stainless steel blank, and all I have to do is cut it out of the package, place it underneath my laser machine, and start engraving. Definitely saves me a lot of time. When I ordered this plaque, I also ordered some 4x6 extras. That way I can run some materials testing on these and get the perfect look and finish on this plaque. Next up, let's jump into Lightburn software and take a look at the settings that I'll be using for this engraving. Let's check out the graphic. When I click on the outside border, we see that it is on a tool layer. I'll be using that to frame out the material in the laser machine. We're going to see that the dimensions match perfectly in Send Cut Send, that 8 inches by 3 inches. And the engraving is going to be on layer 01. And when I double click on that, we're going to see here's all my settings. And feel free to pause the video here and jot some of these down for reference. Just know that these settings are for my machine. I'm running a 50-watt fiber laser with a field lens that is an f420. If you're running a different power level, if you're running a different field lens, if you're using a MOPA laser source, these settings are all going to be a bit different. This all looks good, and I'll click OK, and I'll fire up the laser machine and start framing out the project, and let's get some engraving done. I've got my machine in focus even though the laser dots aren't converged to a single point. These were set up from the previous lens before I installed the f420 lens. Just know that I do have the machine in focus. I'm going to go into light burn and hit the frame button, and that is going to give me my outline, and now I can move my work material until it's perfectly lined up. One of the things I found is sometimes with the shiny metal, with the shiny workpiece, it can be hard to line up to that trace line. So sometimes I'll grab a Post-it, and that'll give me enough of a contrast to kind of see where that tracing line is going. I can make my final little adjustments. I'm happy with the alignment here, and outside of the frame I'm going to set up my exhaust fan and I'm going to get my safety glasses on. Check this out, fresh out of the laser machine, and I just absolutely love the results. Check that out. No matter what light glare I get on this, you can still read the plaque from any direction, and that's why I came up with the settings that I used. Before I wrap some things up though, I've got a really cool tip that I want to share with you, and it has to do with recording the settings. Now, certainly there's a library of settings that I can save within Lightburn. It's very useful. I keep a log journal book, but let's hop back inside Lightburn for a quick second and I'll show you something really cool that I've learned to do over the years. Here's my quick tip, and I don't know why it took me so long to figure this out. Up in the upper left-hand corner is the file name that I saved this project as. Pretty obvious, bench plaque. But I also put down the lens size, the speed, the power, the frequency. I saved all the relevant settings so that I could go back and run the same project again or run that same material and know that I've got good settings. This last part here is just a part of Lightburn. So in fact, if I hit Control-Shift-S to save as, we'll see this is actually everything that I saved. So I do like using this method, and hopefully it helps you out. I'd love to know what you think about the engraving that I did in today's video. Let me know by leaving a comment. And if you've got other settings that you like to use when using 304 stainless steel, feel free to type those settings down along with the machine setup that you're using. It'll help me learn, and it will help other people learn as well. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you learned something, and if you did, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, or ring that notification bell. Not only is it a great way to help the laser channel grow, it's an awesome way to connect video content like this with other great viewers just like you. Well, until we meet again in the next video, learn, create, and share.